Welcome to another episode of the LFMS Marketing Symposium. I am so honored and so excited today to have the most beautiful, amazing queen of conscious conversations, Tracey Thompson. She is an absolute delight, and I'm so honored that she took time out of her busy schedule because she's been very busy lately helping women really learn how to sell and do copy and just all the wonderful things she does. So today we're going to be talking about how to close 70% of your sales. Yes, you heard us right. 70% of your sales conversations. This is like so juicy that I had to keep this interview for the very, very last. And I want you to stay on and watch all the way through because there's something so juicy that Tracey's giving away today that you're going to like fall on the floor. It's so awesome. Before we get started, Tracey, will you share with us a little bit about your story? Like, how did you get into this space and what is it like to be in this space now?
Well, thank you so much, Angela, for inviting me to be here and speaking to all your beautiful LFMS. Super excited about our content today. So my story, the short version of it is that I was always in marketing and sales and in the corporate environment. And although I loved it and I really enjoyed the creativity of it and whatnot, it just, the corporate structure burnt me out. And about 5 years ago, I was ready to relaunch my career again because I'd gone back to school and got my marketing degree and all of that. And I was just exhausted. And I, for the first time, went to the doctor, and I'm not a big doctor person, but when the diagnosis came back of stage 3 cancer, I knew I had to change everything. I just couldn't do what I had done before. I couldn't burn the candle at both ends. I couldn't work for somebody else. I couldn't not follow my heart and my passion. And I knew that I needed to become my own boss. I needed to create my own LFM empire for me, right?
You are today.
Yes, and here I am today. And so once I healed myself, I decided I was going to heal myself of cancer and not go the traditional route. I did everything that everybody told me I was crazy to do, like leave corporate, try to heal yourself of stage 3 cancer, like all this stuff that I just kind of went off script and decided to pave my own path. Awesome. And so that brought me full circle to now being able to serve the very people that are just like me, that are trying to carve their own path and create their own life.
I absolutely adore you, Tracey, and your story. So for those of you who are really watching and you're compelled, I really would like you to reach out to Tracey. Her story, she just like shared like a little tiny bit what she has done for herself and how she cured herself and how she came full circle is so amazing. You will just sit in silence when she shares with you. So I encourage you to reach out and be part of her tribe. She's absolutely phenomenal. So the thing that I think that's different about Tracey, and I want to share this with you, when I first met Tracey, I was very comfortable in my own skin with my marketing and sales. I've been having an online marketing and sales digital agency for 15 years. And I thought, we can always improve, but then I met Tracey. Tracey is so incredible at sales conversations. You feel like you're having an authentic conversation. Like it's not even sales, it's true, pure service. And that's what Tracey brings to the table. And when people get on a sales conversation with Tracey and they walk away, they don't feel like they've been sold to. They feel like they've been served and helped. And what she offers is so transformational to people that it really, I can't even explain it. I have never been on a sales conversation with anyone else like I have with Tracey. Like that is how incredible she is and how drawn I was to her and why she's here today. So with that being said, I would like to share with you our topic once again is how to convert 70% of your sales. So Tracey, the one thing that we've talked about, outside of this interview is questions. Can you talk to me about why asking certain questions is really the heart of sales?
It so is. And I like to say that as heart-centered, passion-driven, conscious entrepreneurs that we all are as LFMS, it really is about showing up in service, right? And in order to do that, we have to really understand who it is we're speaking to. We need to get inside their psyche, really know what they want, what they need, what their desires are, what their true hidden, pains and blocks are. And the only way to do that consciously is to ask really good questions. So to me, the basis of all good conscious communication and conscious conversation comes from asking quality questions. So I know we've all been in those conversations, in those sales conversations where they ask you like a list of generic questions and you're going, oh gosh, here we go again. I've heard this script, right?
Right.
The boring generic questions. And those elicit, guess what? What kind of answers do you get when you ask a boring vanilla question?
A boring vanilla answer, sweetheart.
That's right.
So vague. You're like, okay, I want to make $1 million. Well, why?
And what does it mean to you? And and so you end up with these pat answers, the stock answer. Right. The one that they tell everybody at the cocktail party and they tell everybody at the grocery store. And they're like, okay, I'm an entrepreneur and I want to be a millionaire and I want to have a nice car and I want to have a nice home and I want to take my family on vacation. Okay.
It's like the stock photo, right?
Yeah, right. It's the fake smile with the fake family and the fake house in the background. And so we really want
real here. I think it's beautiful, right? But the point is
we're looking for authenticity. And if we're going to be authentic with people, then we need to get out of the box and stop asking generic, boring, freaking questions. I want all of us to embrace our inner Barbara Walters, right? Those of us who are our age, it's like, right? Katie Couric, whatever the more modern version is to really get inquisitive in a creative way. I want you to tap into that part of you that says, all right, if I were an investigative reporter, if my whole living depended on getting underneath the surface with people, what kind of questions would I ask then?
Ooh.
Right? So when you're in a quote sales conversation, the best service you could provide someone is be a really great question asker, right?
When you say that, being a really great question asker, is that all about really, taking your own ego out of the equation and really just it's not about you. It's not about you making money. It's not about all this. It's about that person and building that bridge.
Yes, absolutely. And guess what? Everyone's favorite topic is themselves. Yep. So when you show up and you are truly, really, truly, and this can't be faked, you don't want to fake this. When you're really, truly interested and you're curious and you really do want to know what's underneath all those superficial answers and you care because the way that you can serve them the best, the deepest, and to help them get the most powerful transformation is not at that surface level. So this is sort of old school selling. Old school selling, and this is what I like to tell everybody, there's 3 levels of selling. The first level of selling is the really old model. It's the win-lose model. That's the used car salesman, the one that makes you feel like you need a shower afterwards, right? You're like, ugh, yeah, that was gross. It just doesn't feel good.
No.
Either you won because you worked them for a less price or something, or they won and you feel like you've been taken advantage of. So that's the really low vibrational version. Then there's the next level up, and this is where I find, Angela, that a lot of experts in our space get stuck right here, and it's called the win-win, but it's transactional. It stays at the surface of, you know, I have this XYZ problem or challenge or issue, and it's kind of superficial, like I need a new website. Okay, you know, that's very intellectual, it's very heady. And you say, well, you're in luck, I do websites. Okay. The challenge with that in our landscape today is it's not very transformational, it's transactional.
Truth.
Okay. And when we're really showing up to serve at a deeper level, we have to go past transactional. The third level is transformation. And that's where you go in and you start really finding out what is underneath the desire. Why do they want that new website? What's it going to mean to them? How's it going to change their business? How's it going to change their finances? What does that mean for their, their sense of freedom? So you see, it's peeling back those layers so that we can really deeply connect. Does that make sense?
It makes absolute sense. It makes real sense. So, you really have to put yourself in their shoes and really bridge that gap and ask those questions. So you take it beyond a transactional type of conversation. What did you call that highest level of conversation again?
It's transformational instead of transactional, because the middle one is transactional. Right. The third level and the highest connection and vibration is transformational.
So, when someone really gets into that space of a transformational sales conversation, you really are serving. You're not a servant as in clean the house. You're serving at your highest level.
Yes.
People relate to you. How does that, what's the word I'm trying to think of? How does that fit with objections, right? Because that's always seems like, oh, people, I can't close the sale, my biggest objections are, God knows, there's a laundry list, right? How does that work? Share with us your thoughts on that.
Right. So when you're in that higher vibrational area, when you're really looking for, searching for, and your intention is transformation, and you're asking really juicy questions, you're getting underneath the surface answers and digging deeper, the one area that you really need, and this is another thing, those of us who are heart-centered and maybe feel like we don't want to be pushy or whatever, we may shy away from this, but this is a mistake that a lot of heart-centered women make when they're in the process of discovery, is they don't go deep enough into the pain. You really have to ask, what is not having your vision? What does that mean to you? What's that costing you? What would it cost you if this problem that challenge you're dealing with right now didn't get resolved, or it got worse?
Right. I mean,
right?
It costs you some pretty deep stuff, your health, your marriage, your sense of your identity. There's so many things, right?
And no one is going to tell you that unless you ask. Mm-hmm. And if you're afraid, if you are thinking to yourself, your inner dialogue is, oh gosh, I can't go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to make people feel uncomfortable. You're actually doing that person a disservice.
So how do you, and I love this, and I think it's really fabulous. And, one of the things that I struggled with when I was first getting into the space of sales was I'm really natural at asking questions, sometimes too many. I like people and I can connect really well, but I found, and I'm using myself as an example because I think there's so many women out here that have this issue, right? They're lovely people. You can connect with a lot of people. You have no problem asking questions and diving into the pain. But the key is, how do you turn that from a conversation where they feel like, wow, you get me, blah, blah, you're an expert, to, okay, well, now I want to purchase from you. What's
right.
that point?
Yes. So that's the first step. The first level in the transformational conversation is to have that. So if you skip that or you gloss over that, then you're going to be it's going to be a very big challenge for you in the conversion part of the conversation. So there is a transition. So the transition between digging into, the pain and connecting and all of that to presenting a solution is you create a bridge. Okay. So you create the bridge, the conversion bridge, right?
Okay.
So, and this bridge is actually where transformation occurs. Because if you just dig into the pain and you're like, okay, they understand me, like the person you're speaking to may go, wow, she really gets me. But the transformation can't happen until you make the connection to the solution, right? So what you do is when you've got this juicy, really good digging into the pain and the blocks that they're experiencing, when you say this, you build the bridge and you say, Angela, I would love to share with you in my expert, space. So this is what I've experienced with my clients, how I can help you create that vision you just shared with me earlier, blast through all these blocks, heal through these inner game issues that you're having, the money blocks that whatever's relevant, whatever they told you, and that's active listening, making sure you use their words here. Would you like for me to share with you how I might be able to help you get what you need to have that outcome? So it's not, do you want to hear about my program?
Right.
Okay. It's not that.
No, and you coined a term that I found so fascinating that, wow, you said something about values and about value stacking.
Yes.
I want to share, because I think all the other stuff you've shared is phenomenal, but to me, this is like the juice of the juice of the juice. It's the juiciest, the nectar, like the stuff that if you know this little secret, hello, will open the world to you. Cash flow.
Exactly.
Clients, the kind of clients you want to vacay with, right?
Exactly. So this is where that 70 to 80% conversion ratio happens right here. Mm-hmm. So when you're making your offer, okay, the offer is really just you connecting your solutions, right? Whatever your program offers in terms of the solution, you're offering that as one piece of value. So what you don't do, and I'll go backwards and I'll tell you what you do, but what you don't do is you don't do this. You don't go, okay, so let me tell you about my whole program, and blah, 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 and you vomit your entire program like a monologue, right? You're like doing this whole big presentation, and if you're on Zoom, you're probably not even noticing at this point that you're kind of getting the deer in headlights look, right? But if you're on the phone, you really don't know. You totally lost this person. We don't want to do that. Okay, so value stacking is like building a wall that you can both climb over together to the other side where transformation lives, okay? So each brick is a piece of value. So the first piece of value is your first juicy solution for them. And you pick their hottest, most painful thing that they told you they want to overcome, and you address that first. So you say, I have this piece here, this value piece here, this solution, and I'm going to bring this in, and this is how I'm going to help you with this number one concern you had. Click, right? And it clicks into place, and that's the very first brick in that value wall that you're going to help take them through, take them over.
Wow.
And each time you get agreement. This is the difference between this big, long monologue of your presentation of your program and what I call value stacking is you do one solution, you connect, you get them to light up, and you say, you confirm, you say, how does that sound? What would that do for you? If you were able to do that, if I'm able to help you with this in this way, what would that do for you? And get them to tell you about how awesome your first value piece in your program is to them. And then you just stack one on top of the next, on top of the next, and pretty soon you're elevated. Both of you are elevated together to the top of that transformation wall, and you didn't leave them behind. You're not having to, throw a rope down there when you're trying to convert at the very end and drag them up. You're elevated together. So it is truly magic. That's my little insider secret on how to take someone through the process of making your offer with you. It's a conversation. It's not a monologue.
Wow. See, this is why I had Tracey on, why she is so phenomenal. I mean, I don't honestly know anyone else in our space that teaches sales conversations the way that you do. It's really phenomenal. And the closing rate that you have, I think, comes from this, but also from your heart. So that's
absolutely
beautiful. Tracey, one quick thing before we share your juicy, fabulous gift that you have. Well, there's one quick thing, and then we have a gift, and then we have something really special we're going to be sharing with our audience tonight. So if you stayed on, you're going to be really happy. If there was one thing, so you shared a lot of really amazing content today, but if there's one thing that someone could take, just something small that they could take today after they watch this and go out and implement in their sales conversations, what would that one thing be? Like, where would they start?
I would say that the very first thing, that if you want to try a new approach, a fresh, new, transformational approach, is to first get yourself, the dialogue that you have with yourself, it needs to change first. So this is really an inner game thing. Before you pick up that phone, before you get on that Zoom call with the next client, I want you to shift from, this is not a sales pitch. I am not pitching this client anything. It is all about bringing them with you in this journey. This conversation is a journey, and it should be every step of the way, you there hand in hand. Don't ever get to a place in your conversation where you have to look and go, oh, are you still with me? All right? You want to have them with you the whole time. So just put yourself into that mindset. I'm going on a journey with this amazing, lovely person that I have the privilege and the honor to have a conversation with right now. And the best way I could possibly serve is to help them get crystal clear on their vision, uncover all of the most deep hidden blocks possible, the ones that maybe they aren't even aware of yet. Do you have any idea what a gift that is? Dig. Let them really own what's holding them back so they can shift it and transform it. Okay. And then the third is to lead them to the next best step in their journey. And hopefully that means hiring you. But either way, you're going to show up in service to make sure that the next best step is clear to them, even if it's not you, even if it means that they don't hire you, but they know what to do next. And if you can do that, you're golden.
Awesome. Tracey, you're amazing. Thank you so very much. Now, Tracey, I would love for you to share your juicy gift that you can, ladies, you can download. As you know, this interview came to you probably in an email, or you may be seeing it in the LFM Empire group, which I'm going to share some stuff with you after Tracey shares her gift. And so the link will be in there to Tracey's amazing gift. So Tracey, would you mind sharing what your gift is?
Yes. Ooh, I'm so excited. It is the LFM Juicy Candy Conversion Formula for Fast Cash. So Angela, when you were saying just now, what can they do right now? like right now to start making money, let me tell you what, this is the hottest thing ever. And it is so deceptively simple. It's gonna blow your mind. This is the easiest 4-step formula, just 4 steps for generating 4 figures in 4 days from a single one Facebook post. It is miraculous.
Oh, I just miss you, Tracey.
And the juicy candy conversion part of it, the reason that we came up with that name, or I, ended up coining that phrase, was because that is exactly the feeling that someone has when they engage with you in this single Facebook post. When they see what you're offering, it's so juicy. It's like that little piece of candy that's on the aisle in the checkout line that you're like, oh, it's just, it's under 100 calories. It's not, I can do that. And they grab it. And it's so good. It tastes so good that they want more, right? And that's where you have your juicy candy offer. And we teach you exactly step by step how to craft this offer, this formula for fast cash.
Oh, so ladies, the fans, you must take advantage of this. Grab now while it's still up, because it is just special and complimentary right now. So with that being said, I want to share some amazing news with you. This is so exciting. This is another reason why I waited to the very end to bring this wonderful Tracey aboard and have our interview. So Tracey is now going to be joining me in the LaFemme Empire brand. And I'm sure that some of you who are already part of our LaFemme Empire private Facebook group have seen Tracey and I doing master classes together. However, I just want to share with you the great news is that Tracey and I are partnering together now. We are going to co-host together the LaFemme Empire brand, be founders together. And we are so excited. Yes, it is beyond thrilling, because with both of our expertises now, we can serve you at an even higher level. It is amazing. We just felt this energy when we work together. There's just so many women that have reached out to us. We decided to begin this fun, new, exciting journey together. So I wanted to announce to you that we are going to have 3 complimentary webinars that will be coming up. It's super exciting. The first one, so if you want to grab your phone or a pen or paper, whatever, the first one will be August 24th, 2017. The next one will be September 7th, and the next one will be September 21st. And we will be announcing all the details in this group. But these are webinars that will really help you take your business from where it is right now to a really high level, so that you can build a high-end LaFemme empire where you can easily go from 4 figures to 5 figures to 6 figures, 7 figures, and 8 figures and beyond. And we will be launching a new program very soon, drum roll, called the LaFemme Empire Academy. So put that in the back of your mind. It is very, very exciting. We cannot wait to unveil it to the world, and we cannot wait for you to watch our 3 webinars. They will be anywhere from an hour and a half to 2 hours long, so you want to set aside the time, because we are going to be live. We're going to be taking questions at the end. We're really going to be giving you some juicy content, so juicy that, Tracey, what will they do? It's so juicy.
Well, I will just say that when you were talking, I was thinking, I'd like to give them just a little, if you don't mind, I just want to give them a little taste, just a little tiny taste. Ooh, did you hear that? Oh, okay, it's just on my side. I want to give them a little teaser for one of the webinars that we are going to actually go through a sales page and how to craft an irresistible offer on your sales pages.
Ooh, fabulous. And you know what's going to even be more fun?
What?
Until you see the sales page.
I know. It's going to be amazing.
I mean, when I read it, I'm like, I need to be inside that sales page. I need that product. I want that product. that product will change my world, right? It is so juicy. The stuff we're going to be sharing with you is so juicy. You're going to level your business up like right after watching our webinar. This is how phenomenal it is. So we're really
Yes.
all right,
Yes.
Grace. So keep in mind 3 webinars. Just want to share August 24th, September 7th, and September 21st. And if you're watching this incredible interview right now and you are not part of the LaFemme Empire private Facebook group, I highly encourage you to come join us in there, because we will be streaming live our webinars inside of there, and that's where all the juicy announcements and all of our tidbits of information are shared directly in there. So thank you so much for being part of this journey, Tracey, and being our last interview. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart, LaFemmes, for being part of this whole LaFemme Marketing Symposium. It has been wonderful. This is going to be an annual event. I think it is phenomenal and fantastic, the women that have showed up to not only participate as speakers, but the women that have watched this. Thank you to everyone. Your time, your efforts, your service, your time. We honor you all for taking time to be part of this and really learning and up-leveling your businesses. So thank you from the bottom of my heart. Have an incredible, blessed day, and we'll see you in the LaFemme Empire group. Good night.
Bye.
Bye.